I said it yesterday during my WrestleMania 41 recap. I said WrestleMania 41, looking back at it, was not about the in-ring action. It was not about creating, oh my God, the best main event of all time with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. It was not about all these five-star matches. This WrestleMania was about burying chapters and doing what WrestleMania used to do, which is not the start of feuds, it is the end of feuds and the start of something new. And I would say that for the first time in easily over 8 years, the Raw after WrestleMania delivered in big, shocking, unbelievable moments, great pace to it. Man, am I excited for what's to come with Backlash and the spring as we head into the first ever two-night SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium, August 2nd and August 3rd, or later this year. Let's start with the new undisputed WWE champion, the 17-time world champion, Mr. You Can't See Me himself, John Cena, who told us during the build up to WrestleMania 41 that he was going to ruin wrestling. And on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, John Cena said he would explain what he meant by ruin wrestling. And John Cena literally means that he is going to take the Undisputed Championship. And when he retires in December, and we're down to 27, 26 something dates left on the John Cena retirement tour, then when he does indeed take that championship and go home, that's it. WWE is going to have to start an all new record book because he is the last true undisputed WWE champion. And he even mentioned the fact the crowd did boo the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. They booed Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And this is what's wrong with WWE fans. When everybody puts Cody Rhodes on his shoulders at the end of WrestleMania 40 and he is crowned the new kingpin, the new quarterback, if you will, of WWE. And a year later, he's getting booed in a match where John Cena is supposed to be booed. And the fans were even chanting sorry and booing Cena. And Cena said, I don't really care. You guys did this to me for 20 years. I don't care about you anymore. The only thing I care about is winning the championship. And all you guys that are crying that, oh my God, Travis Scott intervened and The Rock wasn't there and it was a terrible match and yada, yada, yada. John Cena does not care. The only thing John Cena cares about is winning the championship. And the ultimate chicken heel shit from John Cena is to use a non wrestler, a non legend, to screw the American Nightmare out of the Undisputed Championship. But then, folks, and we know that Backlash is taking place May 10th in St. Louis, Missouri. Mr. RKO appeared out of nowhere. John Cena said, oh shit, into the microphone, and boom, we are off in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, the home of the Arches. May 10th, the main event of Backlash will be Cena Orton one last time for the undisputed WWE Championship, and I cannot wait. Then we had a WrestleMania rematch between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. They defended the tag team titles against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, which always seemed a little bit off that that they were going to do the WrestleMania rematch the night after, and I knew something was coming when Liv Morgan hit that Oblivion on Lyra Valkyria to win back the Women's Tag Team Championships for the fourth time, which means they brought back Becky Lynch into this babyface role to have a feel good moment of WrestleMania, and then bam, the night after WrestleMania, they lose the titles. Becky Lynch turned on Lyra Valkyrie. And if you remember, while Becky Lynch was away, she said that while it was nice in 2022 to return back to the man character when Triple H took over creative, she thought it was getting stale. She said if she was going to come back to wrestling, she wanted to do something fresh, which was always in the back of my mind when I saw her appear at WrestleMania 41. And, maybe they could have did this Bailey like curious storyline. Um, a little more in depth. But I think it's going to be revealed, obviously, that Becky Lynch was the one who attacked Bailey, Who knows? Maybe eventually Lyra is revealed as the one after the Lyra and Becky Lynch storyline get over with. But we saw these two ladies battle in NXT. We know them from both being from the hometown of Dublin, Ireland. We know Lyra Valkyria adores Becky Lynch, and now she's going to have a rivalry with our all-time favorite, her role model. Hopefully over the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which would be really interesting, in my opinion, to see the man in that mid-card role potentially as a heel and to elevate other talent. Because I don't care what Michael Cole said on commentary last night. Lyra has not done a great job with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Then we were set up for a World Tag Team bout between the New Day and the Otis Tozawa Alpha Academy. But all of a sudden, it is Rusev Day, and Miro is dead. We can forget about his stupid run in that other company because Rusev Day is back. He cleaned house. He took out Otis. He took out Tozawa, walked in the accolade on Otis. He looks like $1 million. He looks fresh. He looks reinvigorated, and I'm excited to see what a heel Rusev Day means for the rest of the WWE roster. Now, unfortunately, the Intercontinental Champion right now is a heel in Dominic Mysterio, who ended up defeating Penta in a very good match on this show via interference from Carlito and the returning JD McDonough. Now that Judgment Day is seemingly all back together besides Finn Balor, it seems like Finn Balor is going to be the one to go babyface against a heel Dom, a heel Liv, a heel Raquel, a heel Carlito, and a heel JD McDonough. Which, again, with the crowd reaction Dominic Mysterio got not only on WrestleMania Sunday, but on the Raw after WrestleMania. All like Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, they may need to change course because, in my opinion, Dominic Mysterio should be the babyface in this feud. Dom, a lot like Eddie Guerrero, in my opinion, and you can lean into those instincts, and he still believes Eddie Guerrero is his real father. But like Eddie, he can lie, cheat, and steal like a babyface. And again, Penta, who's been so over, and his entrance is great, his moves are great. Penta's going to be a star in this business in WWE. He mostly got out cheered by Dom, which was just an incredible moment. We had Io Sky take on the NXT champion Stephanie Valkyrie. It was what it was. You had interference from Roxanne Perez and the NXT girls, and Rhea Ripley came down and basically made the notion to Io Sky. Sooner rather than later, whether it's SummerSlam, whether it's before SummerSlam, Mommy is coming after her Women's World Championship. I want to get to the Gunther, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole segment because Gunther just randomly walked down to the ring, started chewing out Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Michael Cole said he was just trying to do his job with no disrespect to the ring general. The fact that Gunther, tapped out, and then Gunther lost his mind. He attacked Michael Cole. Obviously, Pat McAfee tried to defend his friend. McAfee got locked into a chokehold, and for the first time since SummerSlam 2022, when McAfee defeated Baron Corbin, it looks like we are getting Gunther versus Pat McAfee, which is a feud that's been culminating for months. The way Pat McAfee was dancing on the table every time Jey Uso would come out with, by the way, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso had a great celebratory moment, which for a second I thought Sami Zayn was going to turn on the new World Champion. Yeet. But obviously everybody in Las Vegas was yeeting the hell out of Jey Uso. And then right after that, the ring general walked down to the ring and just destroyed Michael Cole, destroyed Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee and Gunther are obviously two different insane people. Pat McAfee is one of the most wild, entertaining childs you ever meet in your life, and Gunther is the most serious. This sport is real. Take your craft and do business type of ring work. And I think Gunther and Pat McAfee could have an incredible feud, an incredible war of words. We'll see if Pat McAfee shows up today on the Pat McAfee show wearing a neck brace. And then we got the main event, which, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman come down to the ring. Seth Rollins said he basically that he was the main event winner of night one of WrestleMania. did not really give an explanation as to why he aligned with Paul Heyman, besides the fact that he hates CM Punk and Roman Reigns and pulled a fast one on both of them. CM Punk came down to the ring. He started hammering on Rollins. Paul Heyman created the distraction, which allowed Seth Rollins to curb stomp CM Punk. And, they put the graphic up on the screen, and I thought that meant that the show was over. And then, the OTC made his way to the ring, and Roman Reigns went after Seth Rollins, delivered a spear to the Visionary, delivered a Superman punch to Paul Heyman. But as the tribal chief was getting ready to spear his former wise man, out comes a man in a hoodie with that gigantic spear, and the way it was delivered, you could immediately tell who it was. It was a guy who has a relationship with Paul Heyman dating back to NXT days in October 2023. Braun Breaker, who then destroyed CM Punk. He destroyed Roman Reigns and this new faction of new Paul Heyman guys with Braun Breaker, who Paul Heyman has always been on the next big thing. Whether it was Brock Lesnar, Big Show, RVD, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Now he's on his next big thing in Braun Breaker. And I find it very interesting of what Paul Heyman said on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, which was essentially Seth Rollins is in the same place that Roman Reigns was in 2020. Multiple time WrestleMania main eventer, multiple Universal Champion, Intercontinental Champion, US Champion, Money in the Bank, etc., Royal Rumble winner. But now he's going to take Seth Rollins to a place where, like Roman Reigns, he is an undisputed GOAT, the way Paul Heyman did, again, the tribal chief the last 5 years. It's going to be very interesting to see Roman Reigns and CM Punk try to put their differences aside. Maybe it happens at Backlash, though. I don't know, because Randy Orton and John Cena have to main event that show, and this feels like a main event. Maybe you save this for Money in the Bank in June at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. But Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins teaming up against CM Punk and Roman Reigns, as CM Punk and Roman Reigns try to put their differences aside to fight for Punk's best friend, for the OTC's wise man. What a storyline that could be. And again, between John Cena trying to ruin wrestling, between the Becky Lynch heel turn, Rusev Day returning, which I'm very excited for because it is indeed Rusev Day. Gunther attacking Pat McAfee, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins officially forming against Paul Heyman, against CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This was a hell of a Raw after WrestleMania, and it led to what the next chapter is. This WrestleMania 41 was never about in-ring work. It was never about that. It was about the ending of stories and into something new. I mentioned the fact we had a lot of young talent, your Jacob Fatus, your Jey Usos, your Tiffany Strattons, your Breakers, your Pentas, even your Io Skies compete in this year's WrestleMania. Even a Ray Phoenix right against El Grande Americano, his first WrestleMania. This was about the end of an old era and in with a new era. I'm very excited to see what happens this coming Friday night on SmackDown, and furthermore to see how John Cena is going to ruin wrestling. Like that clip from the Brand's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World podcast right here on YouTube.